heart of Kenya, where the spirit of community and resilience thrives, an extraordinary initiative empowers women to lead and transform their societies. This is a story of the Women's Voice and Leadership Project. In Kenya, women continue to face significant marginalization and exclusion in various sectors of society. Despite making up 50% of the population, only 23% of parliamentary seats are held by women as of 2022, far below the two-thirds gender rule mandated by the Constitution. Women are also disproportionately affected by poverty, with 31% of female-headed households living below the poverty line compared to 26% of male-headed households. The Women's Voice and Leadership Kenya Initiative, WVL, aims to contribute to gender equality and the increased enjoyment of human rights by women and girls in Kenya. It is 5 years grant by the Government of Canada through Global Affairs Canada, GAC, and is anchored on Canada's Feminist International Assistance Policy, FIAP, which puts gender equality and the empowerment of women and girls at the heart of international development, humanitarian, peace, and security efforts. Under the WVL initiative, CRAWN Trust is implementing the networking and alliance building pillar, which strives to build a critical mass of human rights defenders who will strengthen discourse and amplify the voices of communities for democratic change. It is through this pillar that CRAWN Trust is highlighting the works of its networks, that is, Pambazuko la Wanawake Magharibi from Kisumu, Sauti ya Wanawake Pwani from the coastal region, Mwaro Network from Embu, Association of Media Women in Kenya and Association of Physically Disabled People, both from Nairobi, and Pokot Turkana and Marakwet from West Pokot. By addressing deep-rooted social, economic, and political challenges, WVL is shaping a future where women are not only heard, but lead the charge for change. It's a bold movement, igniting lasting impact in the fight for gender equality.
Because there before, in our society, we believe that women cannot lead. They are there to be seen and not to be harmed. But currently, we are here as women, we are leaders. We lead in different, in maybe school BOMs, the dispensaries, and the project within the community.
I'm passionate about women and girls, especially matters leadership and governance. I happened to meet for the first time Daisy Madiani. From the talks, from the conversations, from that very meeting, I felt so encouraged, and that is the time I decided to vie as the vice chairperson, Kisumu County Red Cross Board, which had never happened in the history of the Kenya Red Cross Board. And I was popularly voted in as the first female vice chairperson of the Kenya Red Cross Society Kisumu County Board. I did defend my seat again in 2019, and again I was elected. Therefore, I strongly feel that the Women Voice Leadership Fora have helped me get my voice.
We set our sights in Nairobi, the hub of Kenya's economic activities, where the APWD network, which stands for the Association of Professional Women with Disabilities, is an organization that focuses on raising awareness and training to mothers with children with disabilities and advancing their concerns in the society. These initiatives have enabled mothers who have children with disabilities to come out and share their concerns, challenges, and how to improve their livelihoods in the community they live in. WVL through CRAWN Trust has assisted them to facilitate such meetings. The initiative has also assisted them prepare their organization's documents and strategic plans.
My name is Sarah Modoni Kamau, and I'm the chair of the Association of Professional Women with Disabilities. The organization has undertaken a lot of training or awareness raising to mothers of children with disabilities, and also to those children who have been able to come. They have had opportunity to engage with us and listen to what we are talking about, and have that kind of support from attending our meetings. So we have had trainings. We also have been participating with CRAWN in different activities that they have had. They have called us for meetings on economic empowerment, different areas to just build our capacity.
I knew about the Women Voice Leadership Project from the Secretary of APWD. Her name is Gladys. She introduced me to CRAWN Trust, and I was able to get an opportunity there to collect stories of women rights organizations, where I worked with CRAWN Trust for 6 months, and it was a wonderful experience.
Sana sana ni discrimination, sababu ya hali yake ya kutembea, hali yake ya sababu hatembei tu kama mtoto mwingine, hali ya kuongea, hali ya kiwango chake kulingana na miaka yake, hali ya masomo, akiingiana na watoto wengine ambapo obvious wako chini yake, na kulingana na ile grade yako hafai kuwa kwa hiyo grade. Sasa discrimination na watoto kumlenga, hiyo ndio anapitia sana.
The organization has also allowed people like Melody, a young lady living with cerebral palsy, an opportunity to express themselves, and this has given her the confidence to achieve many things in her life.
My name is Melody Morara. I'm a person living with disability, cerebral palsy. I can now say that I'm fully independent when left alone. Yeah. And in 2016, I was able to go to the Children's Parliament, where I was a senator, a children's senator, and also there I was able to speak on behalf of children living with disability, and I was able to fundraise for my wheelchair.
Such impactful stories and achievements are at the core of the APWD organization, but they aren't without challenges.
Unapata mtu akona mtoto mlemavu. Huyo mtoto mimi unampeleka therapy on Mondays and Friday. Utapata a special school is very far away. So unafanya mahesabu ya aende therapy ama aende schooling. So hapo kuna changamoto, but kungekuwa na therapy, so wanasoma masaa maybe ya asubuhi, jioni ni therapy. Hiyo ingekuwa inatusaidia.
Some of the challenges is the people with disability accepting that they have disability. For me, I felt like that was the biggest challenge, but speaking to them and sharing experiences of our own as people with disability has encouraged them to come out of their shell.
The organization is fostering inclusion and empowerment. This not only boosts personal confidence, but also inspires societal change by demonstrating the potential of individuals with disabilities, breaking down stereotypes, and promoting a more inclusive community where everyone has the opportunity to thrive.
The future of APWD is great, I can say, because we as Association of Professional Women with Disabilities have different kind of skills that we bring on the table to be able to engage other persons with disabilities and to make them feel that persons with disabilities are not just beggars on the streets. They can also have a living, they can go to school, they can have an education, they can have skills, they can have businesses, and therefore the future of APWD is to see an amplified voice, a bigger voice of women with disabilities, girls with disabilities in the leadership spaces, in the business spaces, in the political spaces, being CEOs of organizations, being appointed even as permanent secretaries or cabinet secretaries because of the capacity that we'll have built within the women fraternity, even to prepare them for work, employment, leadership, and everything. So that's the goal of our organization, to give them the confidence, to give them the skills, to make them understand the rights of persons with disabilities, so that even when they get to those positions, they are able to talk about those rights from an informed point of view.
Despite operating in the remote areas of West Pokot, the Pokot, Turkana, Marakwet women, POTUMA, boasts over 500 members, of which 108 of them are officially registered. The primary objective of the group is to empower women, support peace-building efforts, and advocate for gender equality in the Kerio Valley region. For POTUMA, the WVL initiatives has provided training in financial management skills, and some women have risen to leadership positions within the county government, demonstrating the influence of POTUMA in fostering female leadership. WVL through CRAWN Trust has assisted them to facilitate such meetings. The initiative has also assisted them prepare their strategic plans and other documentation that will assist them attract more donors.
POTUMA stands for Popoto Kana Magharibi and Peace Network. And what we have been engaging on is bringing women together to put our voice to peace, to talk about what is it that we want, how do we want to achieve peace, what is peace for us as women from that region, that volatile region. We find that we are the biggest losers in all this conflict, because we are left with either orphans, or we lose husbands and livelihoods. Women put food on the table. We get our food in the marketplaces. So basically, we find that women are more affected than men in all this. When people talk about conflict, and they only count those who have died, but what about those who have been left behind? The suffering of those who have been left behind, or the social infrastructure. What happens? How do they make ends meet? So we meet as women to talk about alternative ways of resolving conflict. We feel there is other ways of solving conflict than just the gun. And so women, as POTUMA, we say we have no boundaries. We have no tribe. Our tribe is women, and our children both are lost. The pain a Turkana feels about losing a son, the same pain a mother feels in Baringo, and vice versa. So that is all what we've just heard. It's just that we don't have proper funding, so our activities are limited to when we have partners like yourselves giving us a forum. We've also managed to have our strategic plan now, which we are here to launch. Thanks to partners now, when we approach, they say, you see, unless you have a strategic plan, so that from that plan, a donor picks ABCD and say, I will support you in this area. Yeah, so that is POTUMA for us, and it's made up of just women who want peace.
In Mombasa, we meet Sauti ya Wanawake wa Pwani, an organization that was established in 1998 with its primary focus being empowering women in leadership, microfinance, and civic education. Sauti, as they are known in the coastal region, has made big strides in advancing these causes. Today, Sauti ya Wanawake boasts 47 chapters focusing on defending women and girls' rights, sexual and reproductive health, and justice for survivors of abuse.
The program gave women an opportunity to engage with the county government, specifically the officers who are in charge of Department of Gender, Youth and Sports. So the women were able to have a sitting with the chief officer, with the gender officer and the director who are working under that under Department of Gender, because of issues of gender programming, issues of economic empowerment, because in the program we had indicated an aspect of economic empowerment to the women. And then also the women were able to have a sitting with the police, the National Police Service, specifically Police Gender Desk, the judiciary, from the magistrate, the Office of the Deputy Public Prosecution, and have a sitting with them even in court, so that then women could share and see how they can improve their network and collaboration in the work that they were doing.
WVL through CRAWN Trust has assisted them to facilitate such meetings. The initiative has also assisted them prepare their strategic plans and other documentation that will assist them attract more donors. The establishment of groups like Sauti ya Wanawake has significantly empowered women by promoting leadership, financial independence, and advocacy for women's rights.
Naweza kusema huu mradi umesaidia sana, haswa masuala ya referral pathways na systems, ambazo sana sana hizo ndo huwa ni major concerns katika tukifuatilia kesi. Utapata labda mwathiriwa amebakwa ama amelawitiwa, lakini katika zile referral pathways ziko slow na scattered, na sana sana hata zile systems zetu ambazo tunadili nazo, either madaktari, ODPP, koti na polisi, sana sana pia huwa kuna changamoto. Kwa hivyo huu mradi umetusaidia kuwaleta kufanya vikao na ODPP na pia polisi, pia nao wakatueleza changamoto wanazozipitia na kutuambia je, ni nini haswa inatufanya kesi zetu zinakaa muda mrefu.
Na nafikiri ofisi ambayo nilifika nilipata ule mwamko mpya baada ya kuwa nimeenda Tononoka ambapo dada yuko hapo. Nilipata ule mwamko mpya kuwa kumbe ninaweza kuelimisha wanawake kijijini, na kumbe kuna sauti ya mama kufanya nini, kuongea na akasikika. Na baada hapo sasa ile nilienda nikaichukua impact, nikaona ni impact kubwa sana, na nikaenda katika kijiji changu na nikaeneza kumbe kuna mama sauti, na mama sauti anatetea haki ya mama, anatetea haki ya mtoto. Kumbe mama sauti anasaidia, kumbe mama sauti anamtoa mtu ambaye yuko gizani. Kumbe mama sauti ni mtu ambaye yani ni sauti ambayo inasikika, hali ya kuwa hata serikali nzima Kenya yetu inajua kuna mama sauti.
But this is not without its challenge and setback.
Kuna wale witnesses sana sana wana withdraw katika cases, and then pia kitu kingine kwa kesi sometimes zinakuja wakati imeisha masaa yale 72. Sasa ushahidi hakuna. Alafu pia hiyo long process katika koti. Nyingine pia ni ule umaskini. Mtu anaangalia ule uchochole kuwa mimi kitambo nitoke Mwakirunge paka kotini Shanzu, then hiyo process ya yote kwenda na kurudi anaona afadhali tu niachilie. Alafu kitu kingine pia naweza kusema kuna ile mila na tamaduni kuwa hii labda kuna hizi cases za incest, ni jamii ama ni mjomba ndo amefanya kitendo kile. Sasa familia wanaona ni aibu, kwa hivyo wanemalizia pale hizo kangaroo courts. Alafu kitu kingine pia kuna kuwa corruption katika hizi system zetu. Utapata kuwa kesi labda iliripotiwa, polisi amepewa kitu kidogo, amechukua file ameekelea mahali kidogo ili mhangaike moja mbili. So inakuwa kitambo msukume paka ile file itoke, then inakuwa ni changamoto pia nyingine.
This shift not only advances gender equality, but also strengthens the social fabric by fostering justice, protection, and empowerment in communities, driving societal progress. In Kisumu, the PALAWAMA Women's Network, which stands for Pambazuko la Wanawake Magharibi, is at the forefront of change. The organization has a footprint in the whole Western and Nyanza regions and has been in existence since 2006, focusing on women's rights, economic empowerment, and participation in democratic processes. PALAWAMA brings together 15 women groups in Western and Nyanza provinces, whose membership comprises of individuals, religious leaders, academicians, and key women and youth involved in the fight against violence against women and young people in the aforementioned provinces.
Pambazuko la Wanawake Magharibi is a member of the National Women's Steering Committee, which is anchored at CRAWN Trust. So by virtue that our CRAWN Trust has the mandate for network and alliance building, then it works with the partners under the National Women's Steering Committee. So we were privileged to be one of those partners who are involved in the project as a partner of National Women's Steering Committee, and now CRAWN Trust under the alliance and network building.
Much of the achievement of PALAWAMA has been realized through strong involvement of the members who are groups at the grassroots in the rural areas. Due to limited resources, however, Pambazuko na Wanawake Magharibi has not done much to help the situation in relation to environmental awareness and forest conservation, but has built the capacity of women on their rights and the need to conserve the environment, plant more trees to replace the ones already cut, and participate in leadership at the county level so that they can directly influence policy changes at the county level. But this is not without its challenge and setback.
We still work in a very patriarchal society, so we still have men not supporting the women leadership, and we also have women who are still think that no, leadership is a preserve of the men. But we are coming out very strongly and forming very strong grassroots associations of women, because looking on where we work in the rural areas. So coming from the grassroots is very important. So what we are doing currently, we are sensitizing the women on the importance of women leadership, where we want women to sit around democratic spaces, where I want women to sit around decision-making tables right from the villages. So these women are coming up in very strong cohorts, and we are building a critical mass of women to first of all stand out for women leadership, and then rally the other people like men as allies to come together to support the leadership of women.
Back in Nairobi, the Association of Media Women in Kenya, AMWIK, was founded in 1982 as a national media organization aimed at empowering women in the media industry. Since its inception, AMWIK has been at the forefront of advocating for women's rights, promoting gender equality, and supporting female journalists in navigating media spaces. Through various programs and partnerships, the organization works to address issues like sexual harassment, build leadership skills, and champion the role of women in shaping public discourse.
AMWIK was started for women in media, basically as the name alludes, and we're basically looking at media professionals, journalists, editors, PR and communicators within the media space. And AMWIK really uses its membership to amplify women's voices through the power of the media, to inform and to educate and entertain. And that's basically how we are able to run operations through the Secretariat. And the Secretariat definitely is headed by the Executive Director, who is appointed by the board, and the board is put into power by the members because it's a membership organization.
The WVL Project significantly contributed to the professional development of AMWIK members. They have gained skills such as stakeholder engagement, partnership building, and public relations through training and networking opportunities. This connections has opened doors for media coverage, collaboration, and new career paths.
I had learned how to work in a team. I'm very used to working alone, doing things alone, but now working at AMWIK through WVL, I had to learn how to work with other people. I had to learn how to, and I also had to learn how, I'm still learning how to build my work ethic, if I could say that. Something I'm struggling with, but it's something that was introduced to me through WVL.
Through the WVL initiative, AMWIK has also partnered with the Media Council of Kenya, MCK, and other organizations with similar objectives to train, mentor, and coach young female journalists on the trends in the industry and how to package their stories.
And as a person, I think I have benefited mostly through mentorship. I've also benefited mostly through getting opportunities and also being empowered as a young journalist woman, which has really been able to amplify my voice, in the stories I tell and even in the spaces that I walk into.
The organization, however, has indicated the importance of securing more partnerships with organizations and stakeholders to sustain the project's impact.
The influence of AMWIK in the media space is very big, and my hope for AMWIK is to continue strengthening its capacity in-house so that they're able to continue influencing not just the Kenyan media space, but the continent and even the world.
In Embu County, the Mwaro network has turned beekeeping into a transformative source of income for women, empowering them economically. With support from CRAWN Trust, the women have upgraded from traditional beehives to modern ones, producing higher quality honey and increasing their yields. This shift has not only boosted their incomes, but also established a sustainable and eco-friendly business model, allowing them to take control of their livelihoods and contribute to their community's economic growth. WVL, through CRAWN Trust, has assisted them to find land to facilitate their beekeeping. It has also assisted them prepare their organization's documents and strategic plans.
So my name is Agatha Munyiri. Hapa ni kwa apiari yetu ya Mwaro. We've been supported by CRAWN Trust and we have modern beehive. Now we have two departments. Here is through where the bees enters. They enter through this hall. In this department, we have where the queen lays eggs. And in the upper department, there is a division made of this wire. In this wire, it has small holes such that the queen lays eggs here and in the cobs that are made here. But the good thing with the modern beehive is that the queen can only lay eggs here. It can't be able to enter here because this wire has small holes. So the bees that harvest honey, they are able to pass through these holes and they put the honey here. The good thing with this modern beehive is that even the pollen that the bee is culling through its legs are all left on this wire. So the honey that is in this department is put on these wires where they form the cobs. These cobs are pure honey that is not having the eggs, all the maggots of bees. It doesn't even have the pollen. It is completely pure. That's why we are encouraged and we are happy that we have the modern beehive that gives us pure honey.
The group still maintain a few traditional beehives on their farms, but they are in the process of phasing them out to modern hives, which significantly boosts honey quality and productivity. But all this does not come without its setbacks. One of it being access to land. However, with CRAWN Trust's support, the women were able to lease land, enabling them to establish and expand their beekeeping operations. There is emphasis on the need for permanent land ownership to sustain and scale the project. The Women's Voice and Leadership Project is more than a program. It is a movement towards gender equality, economic empowerment, and sustainable development. WVL is premised on the understanding that women and girls cannot enjoy human rights and that gender equality will not be seen in Kenya without a vibrant, sustained, and healthy women's rights movement, or without a civil society in which women's rights organizations operate as equals among civil society organizations. Together, we can ensure that every woman and girl in Kenya has the opportunity to lead and thrive. To learn more about the Women's Voice and Leadership Project and how you can support, visit www.wvlkenya.org.